Hello, Nickums here. I wanted to do a quick video walkthrough of some of the new pathing stuff that has recently been implemented into the Qt version of Fortune Avenue, because I think it's really going to save you a lot of time and I want to empower you to feel comfortable approaching these systems. I'm really excited for creators to give these features a shot. So to begin, I want to provide a little bit of background. To start, I designed these autopathing systems with the hope that we could enable you to just never visit Square ID Hail over in the Waypoint tab ever again. So with a lot of the boards that I've been testing lately, and this one I think actually does path up correctly, other than the one thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't do the vertical loop yet. But basically, what you should be able to do, and I can demonstrate this really quickly, everything's 255 here. This is just a blank, completely nothingness board. Even without setting any settings whatsoever, if I go auto path this, it just paths up. So like this one, it'll have 3 waypoints. You can see waypoint 4 is not filled in. You know, it's all done correctly. That was the initial pack of auto pathing upgrades. Like, you know, it's not super crazy algorithm or anything, but this was what it originally did. And that's really good for some maps, but for things like this, you want to be able to do a little bit more complex stuff, because if a player is allowed to just loop forever, like if you just do nothing at all, then a player can start at the bank and they can go around here, you know, do whatever, and then they can decide, you know what, actually I don't want to do any of these things, and then they can just loop back around, or, you know, go over wherever they want, and they can kind of destroy the function of the board in a way. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to provide some sort of like a visual way, you know, to make more complex paths. So hopefully you can spend more time trying to, like, you know, design and figure out how to make your board fun, and less time figuring out why the hell it's not working. So with all of that in mind, and we can actually just leave these waypoints here if you want. In fact, this is a really good example to start with. Let's actually move the camera up here a little bit and zoom that way in. So taking this junction, for example, currently with the autopathing, it just allows everything. So like if you're coming in from the 25 here, you can go to the 10 or the 44. If you're coming in from the 44, you can go to 25 or 10. And if you're coming in from the 10, you can go, you know, either one here. That's fine and dandy, except not here, because as we mentioned, we don't want to allow players to loop. So for the sake of this corner, when you're coming in from the 44, we don't want to allow you to go to the 10, because we want to force you to go north. Now you'll do something kind of opposite this way, right? Like on this 5 here, you'd probably want to disallow 43 from going to the 4. So we've got some pretty similar operations here, nothing too complex. However, if you're having to go through and, you know, type in every single waypoint manually, this gets tedious, this gets confusing, it's awful. I hate it. It's the main reason I didn't like make boards for a long time. And so that's why I wanted to approach this and say, you know what, I think more people might make boards if the process didn't suck as much. And so here's to making it not suck as much. And yeah, so here's how you actually do this. So these arrows down here are how you control this thing. So they change per this. So like the reason they're aligned there, right, is the one you've got selected is in the center. So from, you deal the pathing from each direction. Now not every direction is going to be applicable at every single time. So for example, you can see we don't have any diagonals here. It's just, you know, these 3. So in this case, the only 3 we're really going to care about are these 3. So with that in mind, to achieve what we want, we can select the left, the west here, the left, and we can disallow south or down. And so what this will do, when we go back and we autopath this again, you can see that this one here updated. And now the 44 can no longer go to the 10, and it can actually only go to 25. And so we can go through here and we can implement our other rule, which was coming in from the north, we didn't want to allow looping to the west. And the reason for that was because the way we're doing our pathing here, we're trying to force these players to go, like if a player comes this side, they can go this way, but once they get all the way over here, they need to be able to go north. Same thing with this side. And if you allow them to come in this way and then go this way, they're going to be forced out one of these. So that's the reason for this rule. So in order to do that, right, we're just going to select from the north and disallow from the west. Or to the west, I'm sorry. So once I autopath this again, what you should see once I hit OK is you should see this 44 here disappear. And there you go. So that's how this autopathing stuff works. I could continue this, all the way around. It works exactly the same way. So like from north, we'll disallow east, and from east, we'll disallow south. And so that should achieve exactly the same thing. So let's take a look. So from 31, from north, you can only go to 4 to the south because we disallowed east. And then from east, you can only go, let me see. From east, you can only go, there we go. From east, you can only go north. So it looks like that worked out as well. So awesome. I'm really excited about this stuff, and honestly, I hope you are too. I'm super pumped for you guys to give this a shot. Feel free to let me know what you think. Let me know how much it sucks once you find like edge cases or things aren't quite what they should be. But I really hope that this makes it like easier to make boards, and in the end encourages more people to make more boards. Because honestly, I would love to see way more custom content for this game. So anyway, that's it for now.